18-year-old Anita Knudsen had recently finished her freshman year at Minot State University. After multiple unanswered calls, Anita's father visited her apartment and made a grisly discovery. Anita had been stabbed to death.
When we have cases for which there's no clear motive, and that crime is committed against someone who seemed adored by all who knew her, nothing can be ruled out. But someone out there holds the key.
I think this might be our 100th case that we've worked on.
I think it shows how many cold cases there are, how many more there are to go.
I know, that's true. When you look up Minot and you look up unsolved murders, Anita Knudsen's case comes to the top of the list. Everybody knows about it in the whole state.
Sad case. Can't imagine being a father. You're going looking for your daughter. She hasn't been heard from in a day and a half. And then you go over and your worst nightmare is just right in front of you.
I know. Reaching in a window and feeling it horrible. Steve and I are here in North Dakota to investigate the shocking murder of 18-year-old college student Anita Knudsen. She was a very intelligent, popular, kind young lady that was adored by all of her friends and her family. She was going to college here. Everybody always talks about how friendly she was. She liked to dance. She liked to read. I like that part. She's such a righteous, innocent victim. Anita's magnetic personality and her beauty garnered attention men and some jealousy from a lot of ladies. So we're going to need to investigate a lot of potential motives and suspects, including wannabe suitors, her current roommate, and the maintenance man at the apartment complex.
They have had this case analyzed by different people over the years, from the crime labs to the FBI to everybody else. And everybody's come up with just basically a big zero right now.
A lot of podcasters and journalists and reporters have looked into it too. The good thing is, for the very first time, the police department is letting you and me see all their files, which no podcaster or reporter has ever had access to, because they're trusting us to try and do something to help them.
I think this is one of the hardest ones we've ever looked at.
It is.
Well, get your A game on, girl.
Morning. Carmen. Nice to meet you.
Mickey.
Hey, Mickey. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
you. How are you?
This case, it's the one that we've never solved. It's a teenage girl that lost her life, and there's just really no clue as to why.
It's a hard case. Y'all did everything perfectly. You just need some damn luck. Or miracle, or whatever you want to call it. You know what else I like, though? You got two girl detectives. Let's go.
Come on back.
I always had this feeling that we had failed the family, that we had let them down, because there hasn't been an arrest in this case after 15 years. But we never forgot about it, tried our best, and hopefully we can find a solution. So Anita was 18 years old. She was a college student here in Minot. She had just finished her freshman year. She was also working two jobs. She worked at one of the local hotels as a housekeeper, and then she worked at a clothing store in the mall. She was adopted when she was a baby. Originally, she was from California, the Knudsen family, and moved up here to North Dakota when Anita was, I think, around 13. By all accounts, she was outgoing, bubbly, and just friendly to everybody. She was super tiny and pretty.
Cute, fun, active. People loved talking to her and hanging out with her, and all of her friends mentioned that she was popular. Just fun to be around.
She's one of my best friends, and I feel sorry for anybody who didn't get to meet her. I mean, they're missing out on an amazing person. Always happy, always talkative, always had something good to say. She cared about everybody. There's nobody more beautiful on the outside and the inside than Anita.
Her roommate and her were friends from high school, and they went to college together, and they were living in the dorm together and decided to get an apartment.
Remember what she was studying?
Elementary education.
Oh, look at this picture. So who all do we have in this one?
Her mom and dad and her two siblings, Anna and Daniel. Daniel committed suicide in 2013. I think he had a lot going on. I'm sure this played a part in it.
Yeah. What a painful chain reaction of tragedy this family has had to go through since June of 2007. These cases leave so many victims.
So June 4th, Anita's mother was not able to get a hold of her. She wasn't answering her phone. She was worried. So her dad went up to the apartment, tried knocking on the door. There was no answer. And so he went around to what was her bedroom window and could see what he believed to be her lying on the bed, and she was motionless.
Kind of a tragic situation for a father.
Anita's murder and the investigation are pretty complex. Hello, guys. Nice to meet you. Fortunately, the first responders and the initial investigators are still around and eager to share their insights on the case and its many suspects.
The call came in at the very end of my shift. I wasn't very far away. I responded fairly quickly as the first officer on scene. The first thing I saw is there was blood on Anita's back and some on the bed.
I was new to the investigations division. I remember seeing her position lying face down near the foot of the bed.
She had a pink robe on, was nude underneath the robe. She had one leg sort of underneath her, and then her right leg was off onto the floor, and she was slumped forward onto the bed.
We rolled the body, and we photographed it. I noticed that there was what appeared to be a stab wound.
She had a stab wound in her upper breast area, and then she had an incised stab wound that we later learned had lacerated the top of her heart, which was the fatal wound. They did do a sexual assault kit. There was no indication of sexual assault of any kind. The apartment was well kept. Didn't appear to be anything in disarray.
I recall seeing her purse at the side of the bed. I could see cash in the purse, making me think that this doesn't appear to be a robbery.
Anita's roommate stated that she had stayed at the family farm that entire weekend, and none of the neighbors heard a scream or struggle. With no evidence of a sexual assault and no signs of a robbery, you have to wonder, what was her killer's motive? Who would murder such a sweet, innocent young girl?
We began to take some items for evidence. In the quilt that was in the corner of the bed was the knife. It was a silver block blade.
When the knife was found and we celebrated, we thought this is going to lead to our killer.
Okay. The investigators ran DNA tests on the knife and on other evidence in the case, but nothing to date has identified Anita's killer. We've sent it all off for retesting using the most modern advancements in DNA technology, though the biggest clue in this case may be the killer's point of entry.
When I got there, the window was open. There was no screen on the window.
I remember that there was some people standing around outside watching what was going on. We started talking to people. One guy identified himself as the maintenance guy. And he said earlier in the day he'd seen a damaged screen on the window of her bedroom, so he tore off the screen.
He said the frame was bent, and then the mesh of the screen was cut. He took it back to the shop so he could fix it later.
Keep going, but I want to put those up there. Marty and Nell. The apartment's maintenance man, Marty Annell, turned over Anita's window screen to the investigators, which, just like he said, had a large L-shaped cut in it. Possibly big enough for her killer to have climbed through to gain entry into her apartment, but is it possible he was trying to cover up his own crime?
He's the maintenance person there, so I don't know that it's necessarily suspicious, but she was right inside that room. You wonder why he didn't see her.
I don't know how he could have not seen her.
Okay, what else about Marty?
Marty committed suicide. He shot himself.
A year after Anita's murder, Marty fatally shot himself in the same workshop where he had taken her screen to be fixed. What's unclear is if his suicide, and then you also notice in the bedding, her cell phone.
Yes. In the early morning hours of Sunday, she was involved in a text conversation with Mike Van. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when the last text was. Mike Van talked about that he was interested in perhaps having a dating relationship with Anita. He had been partying that night and early in the morning. Everybody left to go to McDonald's except for him.
This sentence from your supplement says, Van said that he was aware that Anita was by herself in the apartment in these early morning hours.
Yes, that would be accurate.
Okay.
The last time we know that Anita was alive was when she texted Michael Van, a.k.a. Money Mike, around 4:43 a.m. on Sunday, June 3rd. He texted back 6 minutes later, although his message went unread. It's unclear if she was killed during that brief window or shortly thereafter, but we know she didn't show up for work at 9 a.m. that morning. There's also mention that Mike allegedly told another individual that he killed Anita, making him our second suspect in this case.
Where is Michael Van today?
Deceased.
It was like an asthma attack complication thing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so completely unrelated to our case, how he passed away.
Right.
Okay. I'm looking at your page 4, and Nicole brought back to the apartment. Is that the beginning of we realize there's more to this roommate situation than we thought?
That would be when red flags started to go up for me. We walked her through with the idea or hopes that she might see something that would give us a clue on what direction to go in this. She walked pretty much straight to her bedroom door, then she gasped as if something was terribly wrong, and then made the comment that her iPod was missing. I found that to be very strange.
Nicole's room, we did find she had been to some kind of an anger management class. I found a binder, an anger management course that she had gone through.
There was a volatile relationship between the roommate and Anita.
All right, now let's put up Nicole Thomas. Anita's text messages also revealed that she'd gotten into several angry exchanges with her roommate, Nicole. And while Nicole told the police that they had been friends since high school and they were getting along fine, the text showed Nicole insisting that Anita move out. Nicole's story of that weekend was inconsistent also.
Her story just didn't make a lot of sense.
There's always been a belief that Nicole knows more than what she's willing to share with us.
First, Nicole said that she never left her parents' farm and that she had spent Saturday night watching a movie with her sister and her mom. Then, when the police learned otherwise, Nicole admitted that she had actually gone to a bar and went and watched a movie with her aunt and her cousin at their house. And she told one witness that she actually dropped by her apartment that night to get some clothes. The question is Nicole's memory really that bad, or is she hiding something?
You know, Nicole's raised on a farm. She's got knives, she hunts deer.
How does Tyler Schmaltz first get on y'all's radar?
Tyler's involvement in the case gave me some red flags.
Well, he's actually on scene.
Once all the commotion of police and ambulance being there, he shows up. Concerned, wants to know what's going on with her.
So this is Tyler.
Of anybody who is not a family member, he is the one person who has always kind of inserted himself into the investigation, trying to stay a part of it. He created a Facebook page in honor of Anita.
He had this crush on her.
Our fourth suspect is Tyler Schmaltz. He and Anita had been friends since high school, but a lot of people thought that he was also romantically infatuated with her. He was one of the first people on scene the day her body was discovered. Does that mean he was genuinely concerned, or does that mean he was trying to steer the investigation? Where did Tyler live back in 07?
He was about a block away.
Ooh.
He did report that he had actually seen Anita leading up to that weekend. They went on a walk on Thursday, May 31st.
We've got a maintenance man who killed himself, the last person Anita texted who knew she was alone, a roommate she was having a conflict with, and a not-so-secret admirer who might have taken his infatuation a little too far. I'm not surprised this case went cold, and you've got a hard case, so we're hoping for some luck.
It's been years since Anita was killed in her apartment by an unknown assailant. While police feel frustration and confusion about the inability to solve the case, for the Knutson family, it is often more about the pain and loss of their beloved daughter and sister.
After his sister's murder, Daniel Knutson took his own life. That fact has made everyone even more intent on helping the Knutson family find answers.
What will it be like when I approach the end? Will I lay there with those I loved, or will my pride have done me in?
We're going to meet Gordon and Sharon at Karen's house, and Anna's going to be there too, I heard, right?
I believe so, yeah. That's her younger sister. Their understanding as far as, you know, we're still trying. The case has never been closed. It's always been open and active, and they know that.
Well, it'd be nice to tell them some good news next week, right?
I'm hoping. Hi, Miss Karen, how are you?
Oh, this is not good weather for you guys, is it?
For nearly 15 years, Anita Knutson's family has suffered with the grief of her murder, with the suicide of her brother Daniel, and with the frustration of nothing moving forward with law enforcement. We're here today to remind them that the Minot Police Department has never given up on this case, and to let them know that we're going to do it. Talk to us about Anita. What was she like as a little girl?
As a little girl, very neat and tidy and precise. Very good artist, writer.
She's super smart. I would say that she was very much kind of a little activist, really rooting for the underdog and just like kind of taking people under her wing. And she was very outgoing, really well liked.
And she was going to MSU. Did she have a plan what she was studying for her?
Yeah, teacher.
Kindergarten teacher.
I just really miss her. It's hard. Just like, you go to the mall and she's not there anymore. You go down in her space of her room and the bed's not there anymore. We used to run across stuff in the house and put it away because, she's not going to be there to get it. Her dad and her had planned on going fishing for the summer. And then this happened, he got rid of all that stuff. It's just really missed. I called her Sunday on her phone, and she never answered, so I thought she's at work. So Monday I called her, and no answer. I called him, and I said, go by Anita's and see if she's okay.
And I went to
And he went, and he found her car, knocked on the door, nobody answered.
So I went over by that window and looked in, and I seen that she was there.
And it was open?
Yes, the window was open.
If you stood at that window, how deep into the room?
Well, I touched her.
You touched her?
Yeah.
Gordon confirmed that he was able to touch Anita's body through the window. That's a pretty horrific thought, but it also makes the maintenance man, Marty Annell's claim that he never saw her body that much stranger. When did y'all first become aware that Nicole and Anita were getting along so great as roommates?
Oh, just a couple months after they were in there. Anita would be upset because Nicole would come home and she'd bring guys with her, and then she would leave and the guys would still be there. And I said to her one time, I said, why does that room stink? She said, Mom, she never cleans, she never changes her bed.
My last conversation with Anita was, I said, are you going to find a new apartment? And she said, no, I'm going to stick it out.
Oh, she did?
And that was like 2 weeks before she died.
If Anita was able to keep Nicole as a roommate, that makes you wonder how bad the relationship really was between the two of them. So we're going to have to track down all of their old friends to get to the bottom of that. What do y'all know about Tyler Schmaltz?
Oh, he's on Facebook all the time.
I felt like it was really odd. Like, he felt really upset.
He dated on the prom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they went to prom together. He loved her. I mean, I do think it's genuine, though, and I really do think that he cares really deeply about it and about my sister.
Anita's family, or maybe he's been successful directing the investigation away from himself. Here's what we're hoping, that in the last 15 years, someone has always known some little piece that they haven't wanted to tell.
That is absolutely the case. Like, I feel like somebody is just, like, holding tight to some piece of information.
It's why I've put the tribute in the paper every single year, just hoping that somebody will come forward. Just want her to never be forgotten. And
yeah, she's not forgotten.
Somebody will pay attention. Hit everybody hard, but I truly feel that Daniel suffered the most because we lost him too because of this. It was not easy for him. It isn't easy for any of us, but especially for him. So it's hard to think that he lost two because of one action.
We have 4 suspects in the 2007 murder of 18-year-old Anita Knudsen. And the one with the clearest possible motive is actually her roommate, Nicole Thomas, who she had been feuding with prior to the murder.
Anita's mom, Sharon, reported that the roommate had sent Anita threatening texts and that Anita was scared of her.
This is Detective Talbot with the Minot Police Department regarding Anita Knudsen's case.
Anita and Nicole had actually known each other since high school. We're hoping that by interviewing some of their old friends, they can help us fill in what the fallout was between the two girls.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about Anita from your perspective?
I don't know anybody that didn't like her. You know, kind of a group of us. We hung out quite a bit.
Do you know anything about her living situation at all?
I know from what she said that her and her roommate, they kind of argued and stuff. And I guess Nikki had the one time, I remember Anita saying that, I don't think I was afraid. She's like, well, I'll make you move out one way or another.
I have always thought from the get-go that Nikki Thomas had something to do with it.
Okay, walk me through why you think that.
Anita was super popular. She's very pretty, so she obviously had a lot of attention.
Would you say that Nikki could have been jealous of Anita?
100%, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of females in her life were, but Nikki was very jealous of the attention that Anita got.
Okay.
In high school, she didn't make me nervous at all. But college, she started making some really dumb decisions and started guys she would hang out with. So before she was murdered, Anita was terrified to go home. She hated being there. Nikki was awful. I don't know. As soon as it happened, I literally cut Nikki completely off, and I don't think I've even spoken a word to her since. Anita, our group of girls that always hung out, we all got together, and Nikki showed up late. And when she got there, she had just come from the police station. And one of the first things she told us was something about a pink iPod better not be missing. And all of us really dumbfounded. What? How is that what you're worried about right now? I remember when we were there, she was more concerned about some of her stuff being stolen or whatever. Something about, I wonder if my rent could be cheaper now so all that happened. I'm I don't even want to live in that house. So my roommate just died. I'd be a little more concerned about that.
Nicole's friends think she seemed capable of committing murder and was acting strangely after the death of Anita. And while everybody reacts differently to trauma, this is the second time we're actually hearing that Nicole seemed more concerned about her missing iPod than she did her murdered roommate.
Hey, we're warming up. Something -1.
It seems like a lot of people knew about Anita's roommate problems with Nicole, but if Nicole is also jealous of Anita, that makes you wonder if it might have added emotional fuel to this fire. Jealousy can be a powerful motive.
Huh? Hi, it's Detective Talbot with the Minot Police Department. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Say, I have a couple questions regarding a case that I'm looking into.
We've tracked down another schoolmate of Anita and Nicole who might know more.
Anita was a little younger than me, but she did do some cheerleading stuff with us. She was just sweet to everyone.
Do you know Nikki at all?
Yes, I did know Nikki. So they were best friends. I know that they had their apartment together, and I know that they were kind of fighting off and on. I don't know what about. I didn't know much about their relationship. I just know it was really rocky towards the end there. And then shortly after that is when Anita was murdered, but I know some people thought it was Nikki that did it, but I just never felt that way.
Is there anybody else that comes to mind that could have done this to Anita?
I think it was Tyler Schmaltz. We know Tyler became extremely obsessed with Anita throughout the years. He didn't have a lot of friends, and she was so sweet to him.
What do you think about him being involved with the Facebook page and the billboards and stuff like that?
It was really weird how involved he got with it, and a lot of people felt that way.
We've considered that jealousy might have played a part in Anita's murder, but maybe it wasn't just Nicole who was jealous.
He just became super obsessive with her.
Right.
So that was kind of a lot of our first reaction was maybe it was him.
Another person police were eager to question was Tyler Schmaltz.
Tyler actually saw law enforcement at Anita's apartment, and he went over there to see what was going on. Was this somebody who committed a crime, trying to keep a close eye on the investigation? Was he jealous?
Principal of the school here, right?
Yes, and he is Tyler Schmaltz's brother. And then I think Alex may have been living with Tyler at the time.
According to some folks, Tyler Schmaltz was actually very infatuated with Anita, and after the murder, seemed to insert himself into the police investigation, which is a big red flag. The question is, was it just a harmless crush, or was it something more?
I'm Alex Schmaltz.
Carmen.
Nice to meet you. Steve. Nice to meet you, Steve.
At the time, Tyler lived within walking distance of Anita's apartment with his brother Alex. We're wondering what Alex might be willing to tell us about the relationship between Tyler and Anita, and Tyler's whereabouts the morning of the murder.
Were you older or younger than them?
I am 2 years younger than Tyler and a year younger than Anita was.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you know her in school?
I knew of her in school. We ran in different circles. I knew Anita's brother, Daniel, more so than I knew Anita, just because he played football with me.
So did Daniel ever talk to you about what he thought happened?
He never really did. He kept to himself pretty well. There was only one time that we were talking in a group, or there was a group of us, and he got really upset about things, but he never really would say who he thought. He was just upset about the entire situation.
What about Nicole? Did you know her?
I didn't know Nicole. I knew Anita more just because she hung out with Tyler.
And what was their relationship, Anita and Tyler?
My brother was kind of the quiet one, shy one, the tech nerd, and Anita was one of those girls that was just kind of nice to everybody, and she would always hang out with him, talk to him. I graduated in 2007, and then I moved up into the apartments with Tyler probably about 2 weeks before the incident occurred.
And that was just like a couple buildings up?
There's 3 buildings over. It was the same complex. Okay. Yeah.
So did you know anything about what happened that weekend?
The only thing that I remember that far back was I left that morning for work. I came back and there was police officers and my brother was talking to police officers.
What about on like Saturday, Sunday? Were you around then?
We were around. Thinking back, I mean, I'm sure I was in and out. Anything else, I really don't remember anything from that weekend.
Tyler ever go and hang out at their apartment?
I don't think so. I don't recall any times. Like I said, it was only 2 weeks that I was there. Tyler was very introverted, and he was a big gamer, so he had his gaming systems and stuff there. In the apartment, he didn't really like to go out much.
Okay.
Alex has nothing incriminating to say about his brother, which is not surprising. But he also isn't supporting him with an alibi. You'd think if Alex was covering for Tyler, he would. So if Tyler is keeping a dark secret about Anita's murder, it appears his brother has no idea about it at all.
I wish I could be more of help, but it's a tough one for sure.
It's time we talk to Tyler Schmolten. We know he was one of the first people on the scene. Came across strange to investigators and has maintained a Facebook page dedicated to Anita throughout the years. What we don't know is whether his alleged crush on Anita possibly led to her murder.
You went to high school in Falva, right?
Yes.
And that's
us together.
Yeah.
We just started talking.
Yeah.
He sat in front of me in math class.
Okay. Did you date at all?
We did not date, no.
Okay.
I wanted to, but we never did.
Okay. Did you ask her out and did she shoot you down?
I never asked her out. No, never got that courage. We were close friends though.
Tyler is quick to respond and a fast talker. He comes across as a bit socially awkward, but it doesn't seem like he's holding back on any information.
Can you tell me that you remember about that particular weekend then when she died?
Our parents were looking for her and they called my dad trying to find out when the last time I saw her. Okay. And I said I haven't talked to her in a week. Her dad called my dad again and said we found her and she's dead. And then my mom, she came and told me what happened. So then we were all raced back to the apartment. I met her out there. Okay. And they were friends in my apartment crying and stuff.
Do you remember where you were Saturday night, Sunday morning, that weekend?
Sleeping probably or playing video games, one of the two.
Okay.
So we'd play video games about 2 or 3 in the morning, then we'd go to bed.
And would your brother have been home too?
Yeah, he'd have been sleeping though. He was working, so he goes to bed early.
Yeah.
Were you in love with Anita?
Yes. Yeah, I'll admit that, yeah.
I know you know that I'm sure you've heard people throw your name out there, right? And why? I mean, what do you think about that when they throw your other?
Yeah, I just act weird. I'm shy and quiet, and
yeah,
it's not that outgoing. I just don't like interviews and stuff like that. I'm just always nervous.
Does that make you feel like? Does it make you like?
I'm used to it. It's been constant. I'm random messages on Facebook saying I did it or I should kill myself or.
It sucks.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's whatever. I'm used to it. I just let it roll off my shoulders and just try to block them or ignore it.
You would never do anything like that, though, right?
Not me, no.
It sounds like Tyler's more of a victim than a suspect in this case. To be completely thorough, we have to wait for the lab to analyze all of our DNA evidence before we can rule him out as a suspect. But I don't think he's our killer.
Let me ask you about, since you lived in the same apartment complex, the maintenance guy.
Never saw him. No, he's never in my apartment, or I never saw him around anywhere.
Didn't know anything about him?
Not until after the murder. And when he killed himself, that's when I found out about him.
So you never heard rumors around that he was like a creeper or
not that I heard. No one else living there anyways, no.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything you can think us that would help lead us in the right direction, or...
Everything I can think of, I don't know. It's just weird.
It is.
Doesn't make any sense because no one hated her. All her friends loved her. She didn't have any enemies. Just outgoing, fun, sociable. Just always had a smile on her face.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't do that to her. It doesn't make any sense.
The next person who has garnered a lot of suspicion would be the maintenance man, who originally discovered the cut screen. The timing of his death and the reasons behind it helped fuel the fire of suspicion that he may have been involved.
There are many times when those who commit crimes go on to later commit suicide. But we don't know if that's the reason.
Unlike our other 3 suspects, we don't know if our maintenance man, Marty Annell, even knew Anita Knudsen before her murder. But he's right in the middle of this investigation. He's strained a year later, leading some to believe that he did it over the guilt of killing Anita. Oh, he's Marty Annell's friend, best friend. I didn't see any reports.
I don't know if he was
actually interviewed or not.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who could tell us about why Marty committed suicide, it's his best friend, who spoke with him just hours before he killed himself.
Marty and I, we were best friends for 45 years. Talked to each other every day, see each other every day. When he started changing is when that girl got killed.
What do you mean by changing?
He was worried about his job. He was worried about his relationship. And it just all of a sudden come on. Before, he was never really worried about anything. I mean, even when he got into trouble, for DUIs or weed. He was never really worried about anything
Until then. Did he ever talk about Anita and her roommate at all?
No. I mean, the first time that I ever knew that she lived there was
when we got involved.
You guys got involved and she was found dead. You know, you guys were questioning him and everybody else about this case. You know, he came out and said, yeah, I changed the screen and everything, and they came and asked me about it. He called me on New Year's Eve. We talked for 6 hours. He said that something was wrong. You know, in the conversation, he said I did something or something happened.
And never alluded as to what?
And I tried to figure out what, you know, what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But he never said. Called me in the morning. And here he had committed suicide in the garage.
Up at the apartment complex, right?
Complex. I thought, what the hell is going on? Why? What did you do? To me, he would never do that.
It's still unclear if Marty had anything to do with Anita's murder. Unfortunately, all his friend has to offer is the gut feeling that Marty did it.
I really did wonder if he did it. Something happened. Something really, really happened. I wish I knew what happened. I don't know.
While we're making progress, we still have 4 possible suspects on our board. Welcome to North Dakota.
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Benary, you know Steve.
Yes, hi.
Dr. Kathy Benary has joined us to help us examine Anita's wounds. The question is there anything about her injuries that would help us understand the relationship between Anita and her killer?
So she was found face down on her bed wearing a bathrobe, around 5 on her chest, which does imply that there was time enough for insects to come in through the window. She has these 2 stab wounds, one on the center of the chest and one off to the right and up a little bit. So we have one coming in like this and one coming in like that.
Do you think she was moving when she was stabbed? I mean, could the person's on top, or is she moving from this one to this one?
I don't think she was struggling. This is 2 stabs, and the perpetrator is out of the picture. There certainly are no defensive wounds. It doesn't look like a crime of passion. Those tend to have way more stab wounds. This isn't that.
Our suspects, Michael Van and Tyler Schmaltz, had crushes on Anita. If they had been rejected, you would expect it to be more like a crime of passion committed in the heat of the moment, more like overkill. Nicole Thomas, on the other hand, had been feuding with Anita for months, and she was an avid hunter. Is it possible that Anita's murder was more thought out?
It's just 2 stab wounds. Very close. Obviously, you have to be for a stab wound, so it would imply some sort of familiarity if she was awake and knew the person was coming in.
Police have gathered DNA samples from almost everyone they spoke with. They've never gotten a match.
At this point, law enforcement are not ruling out anyone.
So we sent the knife, the window screen, and the window, and the fingernail scrapings.
Maybe you'll get lucky. We've got a lot of theories about who might have killed Anita Knudsen. What we need, though, is more evidence.
Hello?
Hey, Derek, it's Detective Ash. I'm calling from Minot PD. We understand you want to share with us what you got from the DNA testing.
Hopefully our DNA results can connect one of our 4 suspects to the crime.
The bedroom window screen, total human DNA detected is 12 picograms. So yes, DNA is detected, but at that level we're not confident that we would pick up any result in the profiling testing. The bedroom window, we did get a very limited result, but not enough for it to be suitable for comparison. Next item, the fingernails. It has some genetic information, but not enough.
Okay.
Now for the knife, it did come back as a mixture of 2 contributors. One matches the DNA from Anita Knudsen, and then the second, there was not enough locations to make it meaningful in any type of comparison.
As it sits, we have nothing to compare other than Anita's.
We tried, but just like the last time the evidence was tested, the DNA results are pretty useless. If we're going to figure out who killed Anita, we're going to have to do it another way. The good news about Tyler Schmaltz.
He came off as genuinely wanting to be helpful. I do see, and he admits it freely himself, that he's kind of a weird kid.
We asked Tyler, were you in love with her? And he said, oh yeah.
Did you date at all?
We did not date, no. I wanted to, but we never did.
Okay. Did you ask her out and she turned you down?
I never asked her out, never got that courage. Yeah, we were close friends though.
Back in high school, he was not the popular crowd, and he's so beholden to Anita for being nice to him, taking him to the prom. It's almost kind of sad.
Kind of his way of repaying the favor to her for being the one who was nice to him.
Tyler loved Anita. He's always been cooperative. He gave his DNA. He's been nothing but passionate about remembering her and raising awareness for her case. So much so that people got the wrong idea about him. And those billboards around town, he's the one who raised money for them, soliciting tips with information to go to the police with. Nobody would willingly try to solve a murder if they're the one who did it. Tyler's never been trying to control this investigation. He has always just been trying to help. Does anybody have any hesitation taking Tyler Schmaltz off this suspect board?
No.
Everybody's good. In my mind, Tyler has been a victim all these years, too. It feels good to clear him. And that leaves us with 3 suspects.
So we're on our way to see Nick Skelly. He knew Money Mike Van. I don't know. I read this where Mike has said he's going to kill somebody, or he might have killed Anita. I'm not sure exactly what the story is with Michael Van here. We can't talk to now because he's dead.
From what I know, you were pretty close to it. We got in touch with texted you right away from it. The conversation was at about 12, and then we continued texting throughout the whole night. So I'm going to ask you one question. Go ahead. You're responsible for her death. No. Did you kill her? No.
Since our DNA was a bust, clear witnesses will be the key to solving Anita's murder. We've tracked down the friend that Michael Van allegedly confessed to.
Hi.
Hi, Kyle.
Are you Nick?
Yeah.
If that's true, that could be the huge break we need in this case.
I have a couple questions regarding Anita Knutson's case. Do you remember? It's been a minute, I know. But you had mentioned being friends with Michael Van.
Okay, yeah. There was a lot of bullshit rumors going on about that. He had something to do with it. He had attractions for Anita. He was saying that him and her were gonna hook up and start dating and this and that.
Did you ever hear him say he killed Anita, or he was thinking about killing somebody?
No.
Do you think he's capable of killing people?
That's hard to say. When we went to the viewing at the funeral and stuff like that, he seemed pretty upset about it. But anybody can pull that shit off.
And Nick can't say one way or another whether Michael was involved.
Do you have anything else that you think that would help, or rumors that you heard?
Well, this girl that we went to school with was her roommate. I think her name was like Nicole Thomas or something like that.
Right.
There were some people that I was talking with that went to a party with her, and she got drunk, and somebody was blaming her for it. And she was drunk. She just all of a sudden out of nowhere, oh yeah, I did. You know, you guys gonna blame this shit for me? I might as well admit it. It's just like, okay, you know, I'm not gonna.
Were you at the party?
No, I wasn't.
No. Do you know who was?
I can't even remember now. I have no idea.
Okay.
Now we're hearing that it was Nicole Thomas who confessed at a party. It could just be another rumor. But if there was a party full of people, that's a whole new world of witnesses who might provide us with more information about Nicole being Anita's killer.
We'll have to do some research and see if we can find the names of a couple of people that were there
At the party?
and heard her say it as well.
These people talk about her being the same kind of drunk and saying the same thing, and they're credible. Golly, that'd be nice. We've still got 3 suspects and a lot to figure out, but this could be the break we've been looking for. Next time on Cold Justice.
Oh my gosh.
There's going to be one here, comes across, and then the fatal right in between the breasts.
This was Anita's text messages. Mike responds, you don't say anything.
I think that sums up their relationship right there.
I still think all killers talk. It's just a matter of who they talk to.
Your name was brought up for being at a party.
It was a very volatile situation that I thought was going to explode.
The biggest reason for his suicide was...
Damn!
I didn't say any of this stuff.
I want the person out too, because I want my life